can't stop me. I'm telling you fools that I got nothing left to lose. Broken and bruised, black and blue, still on the move. And I'm showing the world I still got a lot more to prove. Now I'm coming out, swinging for your throat in the ring. Standing there bleeding, yeah, you know what I bring. Know what I mean? Dark when the bell is rung, cause it's a little too late now to tell me run. Get up and run. You're broken every part of me. I'm putting it up in down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher now. Don't fuck with me. Never gonna hold me down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher. The world can't stop me now. You see it's a calm before the storm. I was born for more, now you got me ready for war. Remember my name, everybody out of my way. Back up or get knocked out, this ain't a game. Cause I never stay down when they push me around. See the world stand up when they give you the crown. Now it's go time, do or die, dead or alive. You can try to kill me, but I will survive. I will survive. You're broken every part of me. I'm putting everything down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher now. Don't fuck with me. Never gonna hold me down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher. The world can't stop me now. You can't stop me. Can't stop me. No, 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 you can't stop me. I'm bloodied and I'm beaten down. I keep rising higher, 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 higher. You're broken every part of me. I'm bloodied and I'm beaten down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher now. Don't fuck with me. Never gonna hold me down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher. The world can't stop me now. Can't stop me, no, can't stop me.
What's up, everyone? How y'all doing? And welcome back to L Train Fighters. As always, I'm Athen.
And I'm Don.
Yep, that's Don. So, notice we're showing up about an hour later. That has to do with some rearranging of things we're doing and stuff like that. We'll talk more about that on 1700 somewhere. So, that's going to be on its normal time. So, don't worry about anything there.
Yeah, we're just going to cut the show short just a little bit by like only 30 minutes. And as you've seen that we've pushed the show back about an hour. Doing all these shows, I mean, it takes a toll on you. I mean, because Athen, you do this and then you do 1700. So those are like two-hour shows back to back with an hour break. So there's like 5 hours of your life just like dedicated into doing this. So,
yeah.
So yeah, we're just trying to alleviate some of the extra strain that it takes in order to like sit here and do all this.
Well said.
Yeah. So anyways, I guess let's jump right into it.
Sounds like a plan to me. So
we've got what they're claiming as a police bust for the world's biggest video game cheat operation. And apparently it's a collaborative effort between Chinese police and the gaming giant Tencent, which there's been a lot of hate about Tencent.
Well, you know
in the
what?
past
Another
years.
thing, that
What's up?
game that other story about that game I was talking about earlier, that's
We're
10
right.
cent also.
Right. So the big, a lot of like the big hate with like Tencent is pretty much like they either like tank video game companies like EA or Microsoft, or it's just like the monopoly that they have on it, or like they'll censor like Tencent is not good at managing the properties in which they acquire. And so like a lot of the games suffer as well. So they're saying that the gang in which was arrested or that was broken up had designed and sold cheats for popular video games, including Overwatch and Call of Duty Mobile. There's roughly $76 million in revenue that was made from these organizations, which they charge a subscription fee for clients. The operation was called Chicken Drumstick and had a website selling to hundreds of countries and regions. Subscription prices for users began about $10 a day and up to $200 a month.
Damn.
Just to cheat on some games. Says 10 people were arrested near Shanghai. Destroyed 17 cheats. I don't know what that means. Arrested 10 people in connection to the ring. So I guess the program is behind them.
So these people are paying up to $200 a month to cheat on a game?
Yep.
Is this like this is Hong Kong or China? I'm assuming China.
This is China. So outside of Shanghai, so mainland.
Okay, so would this be like Hong Kong or Chinese dollars, or is this American dollars?
So that was, they did it in American dollars, 76 million, or about 55 million pounds.
Damn. I don't understand why someone would spend that much money on cheating.
Yeah, $10 a day. That's like steep. I mean,
unless you're trying
games competitively, I mean, it gets really sweaty.
Yeah, but only if you're really, really competitive. Other than that, that's just being sweaty to be sweaty.
Yeah, but it's China. That's just how we Asians do. I mean, if you're gonna be good at something, be the best at something.
I guess.
So, or I mean, yeah. Yeah, they don't want to bring dishonor upon their family. Yeah, and then now with like COVID and everything, a lot of places, I mean, they're doing the online tournaments and stuff, and there's still like money involved. So, let's see. In 2019, a third of gamers admit to using cheats to improve their chances online. Well, a third of players are trash. Yeah, several high-profile gamers have quit platforms over the rise of cheating in some games, which, yeah, that's been known. A lot of these, yeah, and the problem came with like a lot of these free games, right? Because a lot of these cheats they're not as popular in games that you have to pay for. And so I know there's like, you know, a lot of these BR games that have been going around, like Fortnite and even Call of Duty, and like, yeah, cheating is like prevalent, but that's not saying cheating doesn't happen in like, you know, games that you do have to pay for. So yeah, and that's pretty much the
I do think a lot of times in games that you have to pay for, it seems there's a lot less cheating though.
It also depends on the mechanic, right? Because if there's like some type of like ranked play to it, yeah, it's definitely. Because look at like Battlegrounds, like PlayerUnknown's, PUBG, yeah. Yeah, so you had to pay for that, but I mean, they're still cheating because there's still like a competitive aspect to that.
Another thing I don't understand is how those games have such a hard time controlling cheating, because on games like I've used to playing Atlas, Ark, 7 Days to Die, games like those that I've been playing recently, those seem to have a fairly good handle on cheating. It's like because they have the anti-cheat software that goes in to each server, and you know a lot of the server owners and operators and people who run the servers know what to look for cheaters. So it's like, for instance, on 7 Days to Die, there was a clipping cheat that you could use. I'm not 100% sure how it worked, but you dig down a couple tiles, and when you get down into these tiles into the dirt, you can kind of look around somehow and grid into the environment and be able to look around underneath the ground to be able to see underground bases.
Yeah, but that's like an in-game glitch. That's different from like an actual cheat that's installed.
True.
For like your popular ones being like wall hacks and well, what's the other one?
Aimbots.
Yeah, and aimbots. I couldn't think of the word. You know, those ones where it's like immediately it's all, you know, PvP based. But I mean, you look at like a game like Ark. You look at like a game like Ark, and it's like it's all self-serving, right? Not saying that, you know, they wouldn't get developed.
It depends because like on I don't know what you mean by self-serving, but it's like Ark is a lot of it has a pretty big PvP base and feature to it. It's like a lot of it is PvP.
Right. But all right, so self-serving where it's like the only benefit, like it's almost like there's a lot of cheats for those type of games that they're like almost like victimless crimes, right? So like say if you like you get a cheat where like you have like unlimited inventory or like a stupid amount of money, right? It's like it only affects like that one player, right?
Okay, and then also at the same time, to counter those, you actually have mods that server owners can install on their thing that do things like increase your inventory amount or the amount you can carry or slots and all that stuff. So
your servers are also not as restrictive, you know. So it's like why install cheats? Why risk getting your account banned when like you could just find a server where all that stuff's enabled, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that makes sense. That's how that fights the cheating because of that self-sustainability within the servers, I guess.
Yeah, so there's like no need to do it. But then again, it's like why even in the first place? I mean, it's like you suck, you're not willing to get good, or you know that you're not able to get good, so you're just gonna cheat. I mean, I can understand like the trolling aspect of it, but it's like, I mean, you ruin the game for like a lot of people that are like trying to, you know, make this fun.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, they don't really care about like skill-based matchmaking. You know, they say that they do, but all they care is that you're playing the game, right?
Skill-based matchmaking would be a really nice thing if they were actually able to lock it down, because with that on the most recent Call of Duty, the skill-based matchmaking there was it was a pain in the ass, because it's like once you start, it would just bounce all over the place. It would you'd be in matches where you're just wiping the floor, and the next thing you know, you get in there and you don't get a single kill, and there's a dude getting a tactical nuke, and you're like, what the?
Yeah, pretty much. And so because they don't know how to handle it, you know, they don't know how to handle where it's like based off of your like kill death ratio, based off of like your win ratio, based off of like how long you survive in a game, or like how many firefights you encounter, or like any of that stuff. So I think like the Warzone, they were doing based off of wins, right? So it's like wins and placement. So it's like, oh, if like, you know, you get like a high amount of kills, and then you and then like you say you win the game, like your next matchup in a lobby, it's like you're gonna be like, you know, against like tryhards, and you're gonna get wiped. And it's like night and day. There's no like middle ground. You know? They just like automatically just put you in a lobby where you just get wrecked. So, which they've also I've also seen videos that are like based off of that, to where it's like these guys that were like actually good, you know, they played like bots, you know, they lost like, I don't know, 5 matches or something like right off the bat, and then they got put into like a gravy, you know, lobby. And then they were like able to play horribly and like just like mop the floor up with these guys.
I think I know what you're talking about, because I think I watched a video. It was with FaZe. I think it was FaZe. What's his name? Not FaZe Jev. FaZe. I can't remember his name. He sounds like he's like a kind of older dude, but he's younger. Kind of. I know he's got a beard. That's all I know about him. But
yeah, the one that I watched was with Jack Frags, Tomographic, I think, and Westy. So
Okay. Yeah, I watched one that had several phase members they were in, and they actually were playing in a skill-based matchmaking,
right.
and they were in one where they did really good, and the next one they're in there and they're like, dude, we're just getting freaking destroyed. And these are like
Yeah, pretty much.
pro gamers, like phase gamers.
Right. Yeah,
So-
that's how it is. But I did like the fact where it's like we got like way off topic. So we were talking about like anti-cheat,
yeah.
where I think Call of Duty was doing it, where it's like if you're caught cheating, if you're not like perma banned, you're
Mhm.
stuck in another lobby with like full of cheaters.
Yep.
So you got like everybody else doing like aimbots and wall hacks. So I kind of like that kind of
That would
karmatic
be
justice,
mhm.
you know?
It's like
But then,
whatever.
yeah,
Go ahead, cheat.
right. But I don't know. It's like they really need to like have a better reporting system and like one that like actually,
If you think about it, that's
vets these
kind of almost akin to the tactic of like these survival games that I'm talking about.
Right.
How the server owners can put mods that adjust the
Right.
server to pretty much any way you want it to be. It kind of is like, instead of fighting against them, just whatever, join them. It's kind of the same thing. It reduces the desire to even cheat because
Right.
yeah.
But then you also look at it, it's like, okay, so you get in a server, right? You're like decked out in cheats, and what? You've PvP'd the entire server, and then what?
Mhm.
It's like, all right, so what's your goal after the fact?
Yeah.
Those type of people just normally like, all right, they destroy a server, and then what? They just move on to another one because it's
Mhm.
like they just like the fact of being a dick.
And it's
Anyways.
I was gonna say, I've noticed on those games a lot of the more successful servers are
Right.
servers that are either straight up PvP, but you actually have to work towards it. So it's gonna take a while for you to build up the ability to actually have a clan that's PvP viable.
Right.
And then there's other ones. The other ones I see, they do like a combo of PvP and PvE.
Right.
So the server itself is going to be based around a PvE situation, but then you have PvP elements to it. So, and with all the mods that they'll use for that and everything like that, it's fun.
Yeah, I
like
got you. Let's see. So EA Play Live 2021, the lineup has reportedly leaked online. And so this is pretty much a because it is a leak, so it's about an approximation of several EA games that are coming out. So yeah, like I said, take this with a grain of salt, but you've got like The Sims 5, which is going to be coming out in spring 2022.
Okay.
Apex Legends, the season 9 trailer it doesn't even say a date. It just says season 9 trailer, developer video. Okay, so it's coming out obviously sometime this year because they do multiple seasons, which I think the season's almost over with. There's like only a few more weeks. Knockout City season 1 trailer, never heard of that. Oh, here we go. Frostbite 4th gen engine trailer.
That's for Battlefield, right?
Yeah, and DICE. So it's EA DICE, but EA will also implement that engine in some of their other games. I mean, because EA owns like several companies. So but yeah, let's see. Miss Universe, don't know what that is.
A modeling pageant thing?
Hopefully not. Madden 22.
Okay.
August 2021.
I haven't really liked any of the Madden games since
they're all the same.
Since maybe the mid 2010s.
Right.
Yeah.
Caitlin's Journey from Heavy Iron Studios, and it's an EA original. A teaser trailer, full trailer, coming at E3, and it's running on Frostbite. Episodic release, episode 1. So that might actually be interesting.
Might have to look into that a little bit.
Yeah. FIFA 22. Yeah, it's probably going to be the same as the other ones. And Battlefield 6. Gameplay trailer developer interview is November 19th.
Okay.
Wait, it's supposed to release in November, so why would they have the gameplay trailer and developer interview like around the time that they're going to release it? And
That's a
then
good question.
yeah, Skate teaser trailer. Yeah, they're bringing Skate back. The supposedly realistic skateboarding game that was supposed to compete with Tony Hawk, but it just wasn't as fun.
I'm wanting to know a little bit more about
And
The
that's
Sims
it.
5. So, do we know anything about Sims 5? Like, are they planning on putting a multiplayer function to it?
Didn't we talk about this about like how Sims would actually work multiplayer, and then
We did discuss it a little bit, not at length, but yeah,
Right.
we have.
Let's see, coming out of Tech Radar. Let's see. All right, biggest buzz around the game is a suggestion that it might be a cloud-based and involve some kind of multiplayer element.
Okay, because I know.
So I mean, that's what everybody wants, right?
Yeah, everybody's been asking for multiplayer Sims. So
And so like every new one that's going to come out, they're going to be like, "Oh, we think it's going to be multiplayer because this is what we all want," and they don't have it yet. So, how to cheat in Sims 4? Yeah, well, that's single player, so I don't mind. I mean, cheating that one. If you don't know what The Sims is, release date and pricing. Sims 5 still in conceptual phase. Yeah, talking about all the other ones. Expansions, trailers and gameplay. No trailers for The Sims yet. Terms of gameplay, we'll play like the other ones. Duh. More into how the game plays if you didn't know. Rumors. Multiplayer being added to The Sims is being discussed in the official Reddit for The Sims.
okay,
And most part has been met with indifference. I mean, I can understand that. Because it's like a lot of times where like when these games shift from like single player to multiplayer, one of them suffers, right?
yeah.
It's like either like they put like all their eggs in the basket of multiplayer and then like have no content for single player whatsoever, or it's the other way around. Everything's in single player and then like multiplayer is like bare bones.
So it's like I have my ideas of what I would like with a multiplayer game like Sims, but even for the Sims, even just making it like couch co-op, that would be good enough in my mind.
Yeah, but you've seen like how the camera angles and zooming in and out works. I mean, it'd have to be like split screen. Yeah, it's that, and it will probably come to console, and yeah, there will probably be expansions. So, I mean, not much
in the way of The Sims. Oh well, because I mean, I will admit that would be a really fun game to be able to just like hang out and play with like Desiree. Like even if it was multiplayer and you could only play, co-op multiplayer on different consoles or different devices over the internet, you'd still be able to do that kind of couch co-op type thing, which I think would be fun because she enjoys The Sims. I actually enjoy The Sims. I get bored with it real quick because it's kind of boring to do all that stuff and be like, I'm alone in this world.
Well, speaking of a lineup, can I get rid of that ad? All right. We've got games that are on sale. So for anybody interested in wanting to save money, some titles are up to 80% off for the Easter weekend.
Damn.
So we've got Immortal Realms Vampire Wars. It's now $20. So originally $40. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is now at $45. Watch Dogs Legion is at $30. Just Cause 3 is $3. So I don't really care for the Just Cause series games. They're kind of like all over the place. So Shadow of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, that's $15. Whoa, save $95.
Damn. Oh, it's because
again, that game's edition. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that game's old. Why is it still like $100?
I think
Right.
they're just saying because that's what the full price of it was or is.
Yeah,
Probably
but
was
still,
just to
it's like
make it look better.
yeah. But then again, you say that, then look, Just Cause 3 save $17. That means it
But
was originally 20. That means it drops from the original $60.
but versions like the definitive edition and all that stuff typically don't go down in price. Those usually maintain their price, don't they?
It depends. It depends on like the game, because there's like some games like what game is still going for like full price? Oh yeah,
Grand Theft
it
Auto?
was okay, last year before. I mean, we'll talk about this soon.
Mm-hmm.
The Witcher series came out, right? I got all 3 Witcher games for like $20, right?
Yeah.
Because there was like no hype, nobody. I mean, I was just like, oh, this game's on sale. Oh, it's a bundle. I can get like all 3 for like $20. And then the series came out. Witcher 3 jumped right back up to $60.
Yep.
Same as like and I think Skyrim's still up there, and that game's like what 10 years old over that. And
yeah.
And they
Grand
still
Theft-
want like how much for it?
Grand Theft Auto is still a full price game.
See, and that's been out for what 7 years?
Yeah, it's been out for a long time, and you've got. I don't think
it's also
Fallout,
supply and demand, and they know they can act. They know they can get the money out of it. So,
I don't think Fallout's still full price. I think that's gone down.
so. Like you'll have what? Another example, like The Last of Us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure when that TV show comes out, that price is going to go right back up.
Yep.
Okay, so wait, it's only on a slew of video games this weekend. We're going to show you 5. I don't know if 5 counts as a slew, but
I mean, most of those are Steam games, anyways. So,
yeah. All right, Immortal Realms.
Publishing Weekend.
This weird.
Oh, you got Planet Zoo, the premium edition, for $53 right now.
Right. Just Cause 3. Shadow I think Shadow's the last one.
The Tomb Raider one, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, final chapter in her story. Okay. And then that's 5 games does not count as a slew of games. So, but I mean, a sale's a sale.
I'm looking at Steam right now, and there are better games than even what you just mentioned on there.
Right.
Like, just scrolling to the top, I've got Elite Dangerous, pre-purchase Elite Dangerous Odyssey, which is also in here on the Steam sale. You got the Planet Zoo bundle for like all of the expansions, which those can be a fun game if you like that kind of thing. Planet Coaster for $11, Ghostbusters $7. Let's see, that's a Telltale game, I think. So, Knight Rider, the Monsters. Oh, these are all additions for the Planet Coaster. That's what it is.
I'll do this.
Jurassic World.
This is my Steam. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I can't make it any bigger, so
that's what she said.
Horizon Zero Dawn, the complete edition, you save 40%, so that's $30. No Man's Sky is save 50%, that's $30. And by the way, it's free on Game Pass.
All right, and I've heard they've had a bunch of actually really good updates to it recently.
Yeah, but I started playing it because I got bored with whatever it was I was doing, and it's a lot of walking around and just gathering materials and like making stuff. It's a lot of walking. So, Control, that's 60% off, so that's $16. Cyberpunk is still high, but it's 47 instead of 60, so save 20%. Planet Zoo, 50. Evil Genius Hunt Showdown, save 50%. That's $20 now, which is actually a fun game if you've got somebody else to play with. Oh, Disco Elysium, I need to finish that game. I died within like the first 5 minutes of playing that game. Yeah, if you can see, it's like 50% off, 40% off, 30% off, 80% off.
On Witcher?
Yeah, it's now $10.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean the hype went down. Elite Dangerous, 75% off. Dead by Daylight. So Siege, save 60%. That's like $8 now. I mean, but then again, PC Master Race. So yeah, I mean, there's stuff on sale. But then again, let me see if I can bring this up. Close out of that. This because Xbox, like with the Game Pass and everything else, I mean, there's like a bunch of stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this the Xbox app? Oh, all right. I'm gonna move this over to the side. And look. So, I mean, Xbox, I mean, we talked about this. They got EA Play, so you got like a slew of EA games. They've got like a slew of Bethesda games. Recently added, they just added Crysis 3.
Okay.
Ooh, Genesis Noir. Oh, it's a puzzle game. Anyways, Deadfire, Yakuza 6, Star Wars Squadrons, that's from EA Play, like Sims 4. Yeah, so most popular.
Yeah, Arc for free.
So granted, this is like with the subscription, but it's like, I mean, if you own the Xbox console, you also, I mean, you get to play these as well.
You know, one thing that sucks about that though, so it's like Arc is on there, but if you were to download that on your computer with the Xbox Game Pass, you would only be able to play with other people playing it on computer with the Xbox Game Pass or Xbox people, because the Steam version of Arc isn't cross platform compatible with any other version of it.
Oh, okay.
There's like 3 different versions of Arc, and yeah, you have the PC Steam version of it, you have the Xbox version of it, and you have the PlayStation version of it. And they're not cross-platform compatible with each other. Which sucks.
Yeah, and it's kind of dumb where it's like you have all these different versions of all these games depending on like where you get it from, you know, like Origin or Steam or Xbox or So
and a lot of games are trying to fix that. Like there are some other games that you can play that are actually fully cross-platform compatible across all the platforms it's on.
Right.
So.
Oh, Alan Wake's on here. Oh, what sucks about Alan Wake is that I bought that game and then like I think a few weeks later it then went to Game Pass and so it was free. So I just like wasted my money.
Damn, that sucks.
Right. I was not happy about that. Anyways, so speaking of Alan Wake, let's see if I can pull up the article. All right. So Remedy is going to make Alan Wake 2 with Epic Games. All right. So this article came out on the 31st and not an April Fool's joke. Says there's insiders that say that Remedy and Epic are entering into a deal to make Alan Wake 2. According to the report, this is part of a new effort from Epic to help fund the creation of new PC games from the ground up. How is it making a new PC game from the ground up when it's a sequel to a game? Which, I mean, I guess if you were to like put in a new engine and then like build everything up that way, because a lot of these games, especially with sequels, they just like use the same engine, use the same textures, use the same elements, and they just like change stuff around. But I mean, building something from the ground up, I mean, that could be good, but it could also be janky.
Yeah, this is the game I remember it was, because this game, it was pretty much you were walking around the entire time with a flashlight. It was like a horror puzzle game. Not really so much puzzle, but exploration game, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? So,
yeah, in a way. And there's like a horror psychological element to it. So,
but did they really, like, when that game ended, did it really end in the sense of they were trying to set it up for a sequel? Because that may be what they're talking about. It's like, so Alan Wake,
I don't
was
know because
the game.
I never beat it.
So, and it's like now they want to do another game in the spirit of that game. So let's just make a new game ground up and call it Alan Wake 2. It's going to be the spiritual successor of it, so Alan Wake 2, but it's a completely new and different game.
Yeah, but there's other games that play like this game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
well, and that might be it. They might be trying to stir the genre, maybe change something up about it a little bit.
Yeah, because Call of Cthulhu was very Alan Wake-esque or Alan Wake-ish, you know, where it's like not like a full-on walking simulator, but yeah, there's like puzzles and there's combat and like there's walking around exploring like these rich worlds. There's psychological elements to it, but but Call of Cthulhu was based on H.P. Lovecraft, so.
And then there was also that other game. I can't remember what the hell the name of it was for the life of me right now at this moment, but it was kind of revolutionary in the fact that when it came out, it was, you know, one of those kind of like Alan Wake, where most of the game is you just kind of rolling around with a flashlight, but you would come to decisions that you would make. So it's kind of like a choose your own adventure game. And
is
there were
that
multiple.
The Man of Medan?
No, this was early on in this most recent console series. This most recent gen. Mm-hmm. It was early on in it. It was kind of the first game to really take this approach on things. It was actually a really, really scary game too. Like I remember I was playing it and it had a lot of jump scares that would come through it. And one of the jump scares happened and it scared the hell out of Driston, and I was banned from never being able to play it again.
Right. Speaking of jump scares, that Resident Evil remake, what was it, 7? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was great. And I can't wait for 8 to come out. But I think Blair Witch.
No, it wasn't Blair Witch.
Because I know Blair Witch, that's basically a walking simulator with puzzles. But anyways. Plans to finance the game. So I mean, developing this, I mean, I think it would be pretty cool. I mean, I really do need to finish it, but making a sequel for it's talking about like making like new games, but you're gonna make a sequel to a game, so why not just make more that are like it, because it's like rich in story, you know, instead of just like the random stuff. Oh, another BR game. Oh, another shooter, or another platformer. I mean, how's about these guys just like quit being lazy and develop something with like a rich story to it, where you just like sink people in. But that's a lot of work and it takes more money. So, all right, we got like 2 more for games, and then we'll move on to like movies and TV. So I don't know if you've heard about it, but Outriders
Until Dawn. That was the name of the game. Until Dawn.
I've heard of it, but I can't like remember how that game plays. Outriders becomes Square Enix's biggest Steam launch in history. It's been the biggest launch for Square Enix on the Steam platform. So it's a co-op shooter that's on consoles and PC, and it's wait, what? The publisher and developer People Can Fly developed the co-op shooter today across consoles and PC, and Game Pass subscribers on Xbox. Really? So it's also free, except for the $10 a month or whatever. PC players in particular have reported encounters with a myriad of technical issues, but problems range from stuttering and server disconnects to HUD-based errors and mission progression woes. Well, they got the hype. They jumped on the hype train, but it's still buggy as hell.
And that's kind of why I'm actually kind of liking this whole thing of pre-release games and all that stuff, because every single game that comes out, no matter how anticipated and hyped it is always buggy, and people always complain about it, and it never gets fixed because in-game type stuff and whatever. At least on these early release games, they're
Right.
working towards fixing all that shit. So
Yeah, but do they ever really fix it? I mean, it also depends on the developer and the game and the company, you know.
mhm. I mean, and it really depends because, like, on again, my experience with things, the Arc Atlas
Right.
area of things, like Atlas is suffering a lot and stuff, but that's because I think Atlas was just, can we do it like this? And the answer is yes. Now they're focusing their efforts on a different game that's probably going to incorporate a lot more of that stuff. So
Right. Yeah, let's see. What was it? 100,000 players on launch day. First paid game ever published by Square Enix to get that many players. I mean, kudos for them.
What kind of game is this again?
A co-op shooter?
So like Gears of War? No, not Gears of War. Army of Two?
But here's like a monster, so like a Dead by Daylight, or there was like another game that was like that.
Well, I guess Gears of War was even a co-op shooter too, wasn't it?
The later ones, I believe. Well, yeah, but this is online, and you can have like three players. But I don't know. I really don't want to get into it and like, you know, look up like gameplay for it. But I mean, I've heard people talking about this game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just that screenshot. I mean, I don't know if it's on Game Pass, I might like look into it. But
yeah,
anything that's like anything with like multiplayer, it's like, I don't know, random people. It's like, yeah, but like partying up with random people can be like more miss than hit, you know?
Yeah, true. Because you have a lot of toxic people out there playing games. So
yeah, where it's like, hey, I just started playing this game. I don't know what's going on. And I was like, oh, they just DC or just like talk trash. And I was like, bro, there was a time where like you had to pick up this game and to figure out what's going on. So, all right. So video game related, but also, I found this very interesting. Was that a rare Super Mario's game sold for $660,000?
Jesus!
It's the cartridge in the original box. In the original box, but it's also got like a 9.6.
Is it unopened?
It's a no, it's a 9.6 A plus. Like this is
like they rate baseball cards.
Like a condition rating. There it is. Mm-hmm. Like on how well the game is, like the condition of the game, condition of the box. After being forgotten in a desk drawer for almost 35 years. Oh, a sealed copy.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. Sealed copy of Super Mario Brothers sold at auction on Friday for a whopping $660,000. It's the most anyone's ever paid for a video game. Dallas-based auction company said that the Nintendo cartridge was purchased as a Christmas gift in 1986 and was untouched until the seller found it earlier this year. I wish I had. Well, no, I mean, right. Not even. It's like, what have you forgotten for that amount of time to then just like clean up and be like, oh, look, there's that thing that I bought like
oh, I got
30 years ago, you know, or 34 years ago. So, or I guess it would be like 35. Yeah, stayed at the bottom of my office desk this whole time since the day I bought it.
Maybe he bought it for a present for like one of his kids and just
if he did it, well then it sucks to be that kid because now he doesn't, you know.
Well,
he never got his gift.
Yeah, but I'm assuming if you forget something, because back then, you know, it was a full price game, and back then they weren't cheap. So it's like it sounded like, you know, this kid was probably getting a lot of stuff, and this is just one of the gifts that got forgotten about. So, I mean, and if he had given it to him, just imagine this game wouldn't be in mint condition now.
Right, and it's A, but it's still A plus.
Mm-hmm.
So he had it, professionally graded because it was shrink wrapped, which is, I guess, what they did back in the day. Let's see. Other games by comparison. 1987, a Mega Man cartridge sold for $144,000. And then also a buyer paid $102,000 for a copy of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, made in the same year. The price includes a buyer's premium and shatters previous records. So last July, another copy of Super Mario was sold for $114,000. And
Wasn't
then
there
Super Mario 3, $156,000.
But I thought there was a cartridge, like it was a master cartridge or whatever for one of the gaming competitions. It has a Switch on it and it had like Super Mario and like Zelda. It was like had certain parts of the game specifically for the gaming tournament, but that didn't like one of those sell for like $1 million or something like that.
It's possible. I mean, you never know with collectors, man.
Then I also thought there was an original copy, like one of the gold copies of Zelda that sold for like a big, large amount of money.
Yeah, but it was probably like $100,000 or something, or $50,000 or something like that. But still, you're looking at over $500,000 for this game, in which it said. I mean, I don't know about those other ones, but back into the article, it shows I'm pretty sure these are also 144, 102. 1985, 114,000. Was the most ever paid for a video game. But
I'm just like
144 is more than 114.
Well, here, check this out though.
And then there's 156. Yeah, a sealed version of Super Mario Brothers 3 broke that November record, selling for 156. So that had the.
Check this out though.
But has it been sold?
I don't know, but that's the gaming cartridge I was talking about.
Yeah, but if it's not sold, then it doesn't count, because that's the asking price. So this one is. I guess we lost Athen. He'll be back. So yeah, this one is like, the most sold, right? So that other one, it's like, they're asking for $1 million, but they haven't gotten $1 million. So I mean, for this one, they could have asked for like $1 billion, but it doesn't count until payment's been received and it all goes through. But
okay, so. But this isn't the gold one. This one's 130,000. Could have swore maybe that one is just being listed for $1 million, but I could have swore I'd heard something about it being sold for that much.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not seeing anything after a quick search.
So all right. I guess we can. Yeah.
Well, I've got the one other gaming story I can do.
Oh yeah.
But there's one other thing I want to talk about. It's kind of associated with that last one. $13,000 NES cartridge found at the bottom of a Safeway sack. So it's one of the World Championship cartridges that I was talking about.
Okay.
Said Seattle in a decade since 1990's World Championship tournament. Its prize for participants, a competition class cartridge with timed versions of classic games, Super Mario Bros., Rad Racer, Tetris, had become a sought-after collector's item. It's among the few Holy Grail games for the high-end NES collectors. You wouldn't believe this. Pink Gorilla owner Cody Spencer told ARS Technica in his shop storage room on Wednesday after a whirlwind 24 hours concluded with the game's sale to a collector. It's like anybody's dream come true when they hear about rare and valuable video games. The seller wasn't recognized as a regular customer when he walked into the chain's South Seattle location on Tuesday with a Safeway bag full of the most boring NES games you can imagine. Spencer held up his phone to show me the rest of his seller's haul, including common NES fare like Russian Attack, NES Play Action Football, and California Games. We've embedded this image above, just a picture of all the different games.
Right.
The Nintendo World Championship label was clean and clear enough to make Spencer immediately assume it had been slapped onto a reproduction cartridge containing the game's leaked ROM, which you can buy from hobbyists and other retro gaming shops for about $75. After physically picking up the cartridge, however, he changed his tune, probably because it felt heavier than it should be. It's really heavy. What's going on? Okay, so yeah, looks like someone had bought or had one for some reason and came in to sell it and found out that they had $13,000 there. All right, cool. So we'll go on to that other story.
That's a big turnaround.
So,
was that your only game one?
The only one really worth talking about, really.
Okay.
I've got, it looks like I've got some stuff on Fortnite, but so all right. So GameStop. Oh wait, that is a different gaming story, but nah. There it is. All right. So we were talking about Tencent earlier.
Right.
Let me share my screen. Get this article up. All right, there we go. So, Tencent has unveiled a new survival game called Undawn that follows the adventures of a group of survivors in a zombie-filled post-apocalyptic world. But the Walking Dead aren't the only problem players will face as they struggle to stay alive, or even necessarily the worst. If you've played video games in the last 15 years, this should sound familiar. Undawn promises PvE and PvP, and along with the usual scavenging and crafting, players can group up to trade resources and build shelters that will help them more easily ride out the end of the world. But conflicts between the non-undead and apparently bound to erupt as well. See, so far it doesn't sound like anything earth-shattering or changing, because this sounds like just about every other survival game on the market right now.
Not quite, because I wasn't sure what game you were talking about earlier.
Okay.
But I have seen, I believe it's this game, gameplay for this game.
Okay.
And it actually looks really, really good, because it plays like a not like it plays like The Division, but it's like in a post-apocalyptic zombie setting.
Okay. So,
and I think it's like first person though.
Okay. Let's get a little more info on it then. So with Undawn, what's up?
Yeah. No, yeah. Go ahead.
Right.
I'm gonna look for the gameplay video that I saw of it.
Okay. With Undawn, we wanted to create a new type of action game that combines open world freedom with RPG elements that would completely redefine the game regardless of platform, said Rick Lee, executive producer at developer Lightspeed and Quantum Studios. The fact that we created such an amazing experience for mobile and PC platforms means that even more players around the globe will be able to survive the apocalypse together, creating the potential for a huge new type of open world experience. So they're talking being able to cross-platform from mobile all the way over to PC. Only game I know of that really does that right now is Call of Duty. So if you follow mobile games, and the Fortnite games too, I think do that also. If you follow mobile games, you may notice that Undawn looks and sounds an awful lot like Dawn Awakening, a zombie survival game Tencent announced last year. The game descriptions are virtually identical. Dawn Awakening is, or was, also being developed by Lightspeed and Quantum Studios, and characters from Undawn's Raven Squad are similar or identical to Dawn Awakening character art. And that looks like it's character art there, I'm assuming. Yeah, those look pretty similar if those are comparisons between the two. Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Anyway, they are in fact the same, as Tencent confirmed in an email that Undawn is the official name for the previously mobile exclusive Dawn Awakening. It's not yet decided whether the addition of PC means that crossplay and or cross saves are also in the works. Tencent said that crossplay is something the development team wants to include, but is still under development. So it makes sense that it would probably be similar to like a that game you were talking about earlier that you said it was similar to, because that seems like it would fit more on a mobile platform than the other types.
Right.
So it's also really not clear what sort of amazing experience Undawn actually is. A recently posted Dawn Awakening gameplay video indicates that it's a straightforward third-person shooter that shifts into first person when looking down the sights. But my lack of fluency prevents me from picking up further details Descriptively, it sounds a bit like Fallout 76 meets Overkill's The Walking Dead, which isn't the worst idea for a video game I've ever run across. After watching 10 minutes of that video, though, I have very strong doubts that it's going to redefine much of anything. I played The Walking Dead, Overkill's Walking Dead. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great either.
Yeah, because I mean, it's the same as World War Z and Left 4 Dead, isn't it?
Yeah, similar-ish.
Oh yeah. So it wasn't the game I was thinking of, but I did find the gameplay trailer for it.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and let you pop that up.
All right. So I've got it muted just for
copyright reasons.
Yeah, just for copyright reasons. So I mean, this is obviously like a cinematic for the game, but it's actually going pretty fast. So it shows like a lot of the environment.
The fact that it's not really showing any gameplay.
Yeah, it's just it's the teaser trailer. So so who knows what you're actually going to be able to do?
Because right now it's feeling, I'm getting Telltale type vibes off it.
Right. Yeah, and that's like all fine and dandy and all, but you know, how does it play is pretty much like the big thing. So, I mean, other than that, I mean, it's like yeah, official trailer, but yeah, no gameplay. Oh, look. All gestures and emotes. So it is, I don't know. It looks like it plays like one of those, I hate to say it, one of those like Chinese knockoff games.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it changing any. What is sounding like in that article we just read, and from what we're looking at there, they just took a mobile game and PC or ported it to PC.
Yeah, that's kind of like what it looks like. But if I could find this other game that I've been looking for, because it is like a zombie Division mashup, but I can't find. Oh yeah, the Mafia remake. Can't quite find it. I mean, I would have to like do some digging to like figure out like where exactly it is, because I know like it's Warzone. Here, you got something else to run while I like dig for this?
I can do our little call outs, shout outs that we have to do.
Yeah, sure.
About stuff, and then yeah, we can. That should take up a few minutes.
Okay.
All right. So first of all, I want to remind y'all, make sure you're liking and following and all that stuff. React to the video. If you like what you're watching, go ahead and share it. And check out a lot of the other shows that we have rolling on WO Network right now, WO Entertainment. So our shows that we have right now are Mondays through Fridays at 8 in the morning, 08 Central Standard Time. We have Wake Up with Gallatin. Tuesdays at 1700 Central Time, we have WO Radio Show with Redneck, Pimp, and Goose. Wednesdays at 1900, we have that's Central Standard Time. All these times will be Central Standard. Blue Phoenix Gaming with Jennifer. Thursdays at 1400, we have Cars and Chronos with Gapple Bays. Thursdays at 1700, we have the Harambe Keeper with Mickey. Fridays at 1900, we have Happy Hour with William. Saturdays at 1900, we have Hot Boxing with Matt. Sundays at 1400, we have the L Train Fighters with me, Don, and Niko. Sundays at 1700. Well, okay, so our time isn't 1400 anymore. We are now 1500 Central Time. And that's L Train Fighters with me, Don, and Niko. And sometimes Niko, sometimes Chey. So Sundays at 1700, we have It's 1700 Somewhere with me, and Don, and maybe Chey, maybe Niko, and all that stuff. So
Maybe
Josh, and maybe even Josh for Chain Fighters. So we're still working on that. So, but yeah, that's the layout for the shows. Go ahead and check out any of the shows that you want to check out. I also have to mention Warrior Fest, which will be coming up around Veterans Day weekend in the Midwest somewhere. We still don't really have many details about that. So keep listening, keep in contact, and we'll put out more as we get more. And then we also want to mention and give a shout out to MC and Hammocks. They're doing this cool thing. They raised some money along with WO Entertainment and another broadcasting company, I think, to provide some equipment for Alexander Clark, who is currently right now doing a totally by foot hike across the Appalachians, and he's using a lightweight hammock that was created by MCM Hammocks to do this. So there's all that, and I believe that is all of our reads that we have.
All right, sweet. So I found it, and it's not and it's called The Day Before.
The Day Before?
Right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna play this. And this is actually a gameplay trailer. Except for like this opening cinematic, but this is all gonna be like in game.
Okay.
Yeah, and it looks very Division-esque right now. Just the way that it's set up.
It's like the one thing I didn't like so much about the Division is the way it was played felt a lot like kind of XCOM almost, and I don't like that.
No, it's not. XCOM was dealing with like statistics and percentages and like probability to like hit a target. This, like, you dome a character in front of you, they're going down.
Well, yeah, I mean, what I'm talking about as far as the XCOM feels like the physics of the gameplay, the way it was kind of third person-esque, and you're moving through a linear, even though the Division wasn't really linear, it was more kind of open world, but
yeah,
just some of the mechanics of it felt similar to Division, or not Division, XCOM.
Right. I mean, so for like this being a work in progress, I mean, detail looks really good. I mean, I like the interface so far. I mean, it plays like any other survival game, or it looks like it.
So far, this one looks like it would feel more like a Last of Us type game, because this is kind of the feel of the Last of Us game. It's like even the way when he's looking at things to interact with them, it gets the little circle with the arrow in it. That feels very similar to that too.
Yeah, but the Last of Us was like story driven for missions, right? I mean, this seems way more open world.
Yeah, so Last of Us was pretty linear,
right?
Because I mean, you were following a storyline specifically in that. So
yeah. So I am gonna attempt to skip along, so we are not like sitting through all of this. We got some enemies going in.
Okay. I don't really hate it. Like I said, it seems like it feels a lot like what Last of Us would. Even
looting characters.
Even though, like, I would even go as far as to say, like, maybe 7 Days to Die a little bit.
No, not at all. Like, this has got, the Division written like all over it.
No, I'm talking about like your character control and the way the camera is and all that stuff.
But 7 Days to Die is first person. And it's like
it is first person,
and
yeah.
And it's like zombie Minecraft. Or like Rust, or one of those survival games.
I'm just talking about like the UI and like your camera control and all that stuff, because you can zoom out into a third person perspective in there.
Right.
In Rust, or not Rust, but like 7 Days to Die, and
Random
entering into
zombos in an office building that don't react to a flashlight.
And this is going to be a survival game on the, aspect of like Resident Evil is a survival game, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't. But as you can see, it doesn't play like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the flashlight goes off. All right, nice. Anyways, that's enough video game talk.
I'm okay with that. We can move on to other things. We got 25 minutes left.
Yeah. So let's do. All right, this came out I think like the past week or a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Godzilla versus Kong sets a pandemic record with $48.5 million.
Jeez.
For its debut.
And that's in theaters?
It was theaters and HBO Max.
Okay.
Oh no, don't want that. Yeah, so it generated $32 million over the weekend and $48.5 million in the first 5 days of the release, because we still have limited theater openings.
Mm-hmm.
So by comparison, Wonder Woman had 16.7 and then Tom and Jerry with 14 million.
Damn.
So it like destroyed those numbers.
Well, it's like Tom and Jerry I could see, because I really didn't even actually know Tom and Jerry was a thing until just in the last few weeks when we mentioned it. So
then again, it only came out like not even a month ago.
Tom and Jerry?
Yeah.
Okay. And then it's like
Wonder Woman came out in December. So that was still like quarantine heavy restrictions. Right? And things are starting to lighten up in a bunch of places. But this is showing signs of life, because right now, why does it keep bringing that up?
And I think another thing with Wonder Woman is a lot of people who watched it on the Disney streaming service, didn't they?
On HBO, yeah, because like I said, limited availability.
Yeah.
But let's see. It was first available. It was also available on HBO Max. No extra fee, because I know Disney's charging their subscribers like an additional fee to view their new movies, right? Like I think it's like what, $40 or something.
Oh, I didn't know it was that much, because we have those articles. Well, I think you have one pulled up about another movie that's being delayed, and it mentions things like that, or at least one of the articles I had before it did. Right. But that's really interesting. They're charging, and I'm seeing things like that, because like yesterday I was trying to see if I could find a spot to watch The Big Lebowski. Right. And you can watch it on Hulu, but you have to pay an extra $9 a month and get the Cinemax upgrade, I think, Stars upgrade to your Hulu account in order to be able to watch The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, because everybody's got their own streaming platform now.
So, and then you can also watch it on Prime, but you have to rent it for like $4. I'm like, no, I'm not renting it, and I'm not gonna buy some additional package so I can watch it. I'll figure something else out.
Right. But, yeah. So like, here's an example. In Canada, 80% of the market's still closed, but like, this movie also made like $3 million on the various digital platforms that it was aired on. International box office. It opened last weekend. Revenues for the Monster Mashup has surpassed 236 million. Brought in another 71 million overseas this past weekend, including 44 million in China. And yeah, the global tally is 285.
Damn. That's going pretty good.
Right?
And, also with all these movies now dropping on their theater release is like actually on digital streaming platforms. Yeah. I'm thinking you might have access to some pretty good quality pirated versions of it through some of the sources you can get those from right now, because that's where the best quality rips usually come from, is from digital content.
Yeah, but I mean, you could do it now just for the simple fact of like, yeah, I can pull it up on my computer, right?
Mhm.
I've got like 2 monitors. I can pull it up on one monitor, and then on my other one have like a screen record of the other monitor, and
Mhm.
just do it that way.
Yep. So right now, if you have programs like Kodi, right now, I guarantee
Right.
all these movies that are on here, because they're digital releases, streaming releases, you can probably go on Kodi right now and find all these movies that are in theaters right now, perfect quality
Right.
streaming. I would not condone that, however, because it is illegal. I'm just saying.
Right. So, but they're also saying like the success of this movie should also encourage like other film companies to follow suit and like just, hey, release your movie if you got it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because like it says like more than 55% of movie theaters in the country have reopened, but you've also got to look at limited seating. That's what they used to have, and then you're still looking at 45% of the market that's still shut down. Right?
Yeah, and there's a bunch of big movies that, like, just prior to the whole COVID thing, that were announced that were going to be coming out, that were excited, like Ghostbusters.
Yeah. So
one.
here, yeah, and here we are. It was talking about keeping these movies like on track and don't delay them, like A Quiet Place 2, Disney's Cruella, a Warner Brothers musical in Heights, Fast and Furious 9, and Top Gun Maverick.
Oh yeah, the new Top Gun movie that still hadn't come out.
So Fast and Furious June,
Mhm.
Top Gun July, but like they keep on delaying these movies because the companies want like maximum profitability off of them, right?
Well,
They
I
want-
mean, especially with like the Top Gun sequel, that's going to be a big budget movie, you know.
yeah, but I mean, if it's all set and done, you know,
Mhm.
but it's like we talked about it. They want the highest return on their investment as possible. So if they can delay it and wait until more theaters open up, until there's less restrictions, so they can get as, you know, many people to buy and see this movie as possible. I mean, yeah, of course they're going to wait. I mean, do they really care? You know, all they really cares about is if their investment matures enough in order to get a return on it,
Mhm.
right? Because the money's already spent.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's what I'm saying. That's probably why. Because I mean, Top Gun 2 is going. That's going to be a big budget movie, and then also like Ghostbusters, big budget movie. So that money's already spent. They've already done it, but now it's like, okay, now we've got to try to time this to where we can make as much of that back as possible.
Right. But you also run the risk of people being disinterested in it.
Mhm.
They're like, oh, you've waited what, a whole year on a property that people only sort of cared about? I
Mhm.
mean, you then have to drive that interest back, you know?
Yeah.
And so what are you going to do? Oh, you're going to spend more money in marketing to try to get the hype back up, to trying to get people to watch it, you know?
And it's like movies like the new Bill and Ted that came out, like that came out. I still haven't even watched it. It had a lot of hype, and they dropped it in the middle of all this, but it just didn't. I don't think it blew up like it could have if it had, theater release behind it. But they didn't delay that one. They dropped it when they said they were going to drop it.
Yeah.
I think it suffered for that.
I mean, it also depends, because I mean, it also depends on the movie, you know?
Mhm.
Because, you know, it would have been great to have that movie 10 years ago, 20
True.
years ago, right? When it was still kind of relevant.
Mhm.
But from everything
True.
I've seen, it's like, because you also have to look at writing styles change, cinematography changes, comedy changes.
True.
You know? I mean,
True.
yeah, like you get the nostalgia factor, but nostalgia can only carry you so much. And from what I've seen of that, from what I've seen of that movie, it like a lot of the stuff like just doesn't play out. Like Keanu Reeves just looks tired. And,
Well,
you know,
I don't think that's his desired type of movie to be in now either. I don't think he's.
no,
I think he's done with the comedy. I think.
no, but he did it for the fans.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, that's the type of person that he is. But it's like him getting back into that character. He's like 50 something. You know, he can't play the whole surfer bro thing anymore. I mean, he tries it, and it's like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't look right from either one of them. Alex Winters, from what I saw, I mean, he kind of just like went right back into it. But Keanu looked tired.
That's funny.
Let's see. Yeah, and so it goes more into like what movie made this, what movie made that. But I mean, I really hope they just like, release this movies. Well, there was like another movie, the RoboCop remake, right? This was an example about like when they delay a movie. But see, this was like pre-pandemic, so they only had to worry about scheduling. It's like that movie was done sitting on the shelf for like over a year when the studio was just trying to time when to drop it, and it wasn't, and that movie was not great. I mean, it wasn't horrible. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that I personally didn't like because
who was in it again?
The guy that plays Rick Flag in Suicide Squad, I can't remember his name.
Because I think I remember
Joel Kinnaman.
Okay, I think I remember watching it. I'm pretty sure I watched it.
Yeah, Black Suit RoboCop.
Mm-hmm. And I felt about the same. I was like, it's not horrible, but I mean, I don't hate myself for watching it.
Yeah, it's like it didn't suck, but that doesn't really say much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that movie was like, yeah, it sat for like over a year, just like sat on the shelf. It was like, yeah, movie's done. It's done filming, editing's done. They're just waiting, And so what happened? Like they lost that hype over the year because everybody forgot about it. And then out of nowhere, you had like maybe a couple months of marketing before it was released. But like but there was a hype of like saying, "Oh, here's screenshots of the RoboCop movie. Oh, here's some scenes from it. Oh, this is what they're gonna do." And like you got people interested, and then it just died, and it sat. And then when it came out, it was like, "Oh yeah, they were gonna make that." And then and then everybody was like super critical of it. But anyways,
good points.
Speaking of Godzilla versus Kong, the director is willing to take on a Thundercats movie.
I know, and I heard about this, and the person like they want Jason Momoa to be Lion-O. And
yeah, they can get like Carrot Top to be Lion-O.
Yeah, like they said Jason Momoa to be Lion-O, and I was like, I mean, it's cool, but I really don't think Jason Momoa would fit the role of Lion-O.
Yeah, I don't think so because it wouldn't really work because Lion-O's supposed to be what like an adolescent that matures into like an adult. He's like he has the mind of like a kid, but he has the body of like what an adult, whatever their species is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could like play. I mean, Jason Momoa to be like a dumb fucking Lion-O, but
then there's also the fact that Lion-O's got red hair. Jason Momoa is a Tongan.
Yeah, he was also brunette Aquaman. So I mean, they do what they want.
True.
So yeah, we're not gonna get into the backstory of Thundercats. They've been talking about a Thundercats movie for a long time, but the only reason why they haven't made it is because both of the cartoon remakes flopped. So,
well, they didn't do a very good job on either of them.
The first one wasn't horrible, but then like they like remade it, like they changed the animation style, like they did like with Teen Titans. They made it like that super cartoony garbage.
Yeah,
and then it was just retarded.
Just like they did with the Ninja Turtles, they changed the Ninja Turtles to that crap animation. I saw something recently that has to do with the Ninja Turtles, like a movie. No, it was a video game, wasn't it? And it was the original. It was you and I talking about it. The original Ninja Turtles animation.
Yes, they're gonna make another game, like they did Battletoads, like they did the company that did Streets Rage 4 is gonna do another Ninja Turtles. That's supposed to be a sequel to Turtles in Time.
Nice.
So, I don't know. I mean, there's not much information to go on this other than this director wants to do a Thundercats movie, but I don't know if they would ever invest, any company would ever invest the money into doing it.
Yeah, I think they'd have to do like a show that actually goes over, I think, with it, especially if they're doing live action on the movie, that maybe like a live action show or something.
That wouldn't be bad, but I mean, it's like there's got to be an interest and it's got to be done right. Because when they remade the series, you know, when they remade the cartoon, like nobody watched it. So, but you know, I mean, but that's cartoons. I mean, it was like the same thing with like Star Trek, and it's like you got like you make like you do the J.J. Abrams or James Wan, not James Wan, is it? Or like, so you make like these new Star Wars movies or Star Trek movies, you wait like however many years. So they're also not producing the movies when, you know, the hype is there. And then like the series, like they can't even get good writing for it. But
I like the first two.
I heard Star Trek. This last one wasn't that bad.
There was 2 Star Trek movies that came out, right? Or was there 3?
There's 3.
There's 3?
Into Darkness was good.
I think I've watched them all, and I think the one that I kind of was the least impressed with was the most recent one. But there was also the Russian guy who was on there, the younger Russian kid.
Yeah.
I put on there. He died. I think after the second one, he died. Yes. So I think that might have had a lot to do with that stuff too. And then going on from the third one, that came out just before the whole COVID thing, didn't it?
Maybe like a year or 2.
Okay, so.
But I mean, you got to look at, all right, according to Google, Star Trek Into Darkness. All right, Star Trek Into Darkness, 2013.
2013 was the last one?
No, was Star Trek Into Darkness, 2013. Okay. And Star Trek Beyond was 2016.
Okay.
So still 3 years. And yeah, they did have to deal with the death. Oh, Justin Lin, that's the guy.
Okay.
So a 3-year gap, which isn't too bad of a turnaround time. You know?
Not for making movies. I mean, 3 years is actually pretty reasonable.
Star Trek, J.J. Abrams, 2009. So yeah, they were averaging. Well, wait, that's what it was. The first Star Trek to the second one, 2009 to 2013, a 5-year gap, right? So they had a lot of hype that died down. And so in order to try to counter it, they made the other one in 3 years. However, the writing for the third one sucked.
Yeah.
But then again, this first one wasn't bad because, yeah, say what you want about time travel and how it's a cop-out with everything, but it explained how the story in the universe was changed. But then again, you also have a lot of diehard fans that, you know, hate changes to what they grew up with.
But isn't like that kind of the thing with Star Trek? The canon changes a lot because like Star Trek is like a history 40 years through of just solid shows and movies.
Yes, no. So the show, Star Trek, the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager, those, and then you had the movies, were all cohesive, right? It's only when they started making all the new ones, right? Like Enterprise was the one that like fans hated because Enterprise like was a prequel, but it changed like all this stuff that was already like set in stone. You know, it's like it's like kind of like the writers just decided like they didn't do their research. You know, it's like saying in like one of the other shows, like I don't know, Next Generation. They said, "Oh, we've discovered we discovered this new species. Nobody's ever heard of it, and it's like new to Starfleet and like all this other stuff." And it's like we're first interacting with them, and then like Enterprise will be like, "Oh yeah, we encountered so and so," and it's like, well, you just so they like contradicted each other, and they like rewrote history on how they did stuff. And anyways, but I heard this last one isn't too bad. Anyways, we got like 5 minutes running out of time, so we're gonna blast through these next several stories.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Witcher 2 has wrapped up filming for season 2, or no, The Witcher has wrapped up filming for season 2. Correction.
Okay.
Yeah, so there've been multiple set photos that have been coming out. There was a wrap-up trailer. Here we go. Wrapped up season 2. Of like bits and pieces. My thoughts, I'm actually really excited on this series. I did like the first one. I did like the games. It was an interesting take. Which the original that first season, they like time jumped between like different characters and you didn't quite know what was going on. So I thought that approach was interesting, and it took me a while to figure out. But I heard this one's actually going to be more linear.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm excited for this. So season 2 just gives me hope that this show's going to come out here within the near future.
So
instead of getting drug out.
I haven't actually watched The Witcher yet. I think I've watched like 1 or 2 episodes of it, maybe.
Right.
But I just hadn't really watched it yet. So I might get into it and keep moving on. But I have so many other things that I'm watching along with video games and stuff that I'm playing.
Right. Not enough hours in the day. So here we go. As we were talking about before, the Mortal Kombat movie's been delayed a week. It's now going to come out on April 23rd. That's a good still.
But like a week isn't anything, horrible in the grand scheme of things.
It's not months, but it is being delayed. Being delayed according to Variety. Original schedule for April 16th. Is now going to be out on the 23rd. It's not saying why. The movie's been pushed back multiple times due to the pandemic. Yeah, but there's no reason for the latest one. So I mean, it's a week. It's not the end of the world, but it's still another delay for anybody that's been like looking forward to seeing that.
Maybe because it's getting delayed because they keep moving it over because they want to get it, like you were saying, to where as many people can go to the theater and watch it. So
it is possible.
And they're just hoping like week by week that those restrictions are going to be getting lifted in more and more places as they are. So
right. And they could have done it like this weekend with Easter weekend. I mean, spring break is still going on in a lot of places. Next one real quick. We've got dealing with Black Widow. The movie theaters are upset with Disney on their release plans. Heading to Disney Plus Premier Access release.
Because they're going to charge you extra to watch it, and it's being delayed.
Yep. So I mean, that's the thing with Disney. I mean, they make the same thing happened with what was it? That Mulan movie that came out. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh yeah, watch it on Disney Plus for an extra like $47.
That looked like it was going to be a pretty good movie too. I wanted to watch it, but I'm not.
I'm not going to pay that money to watch it. And then this dropped. The new Space Jam trailer came out with LeBron James, and a lot of people are talking about it, even like NBA players.
I think that movie's going to go over pretty good simply because of that fact. With LeBron James. No,
yeah. Well, you've got like the nostalgia factor with like us, and then you've got like the kids factor. I mean, because it's Looney Tunes. They're I heard Lola Bunny's going to be voiced by Zendaya from the Spider-Man movies.
Mm-hmm. Because it's like that's what pushed the first Space Jam out so hard was Michael Jordan. So like another iconic basketball player. I think that'll be good.
Yeah. So that if you guys are interested in that trailer, just go ahead and look online and Google it. We also got some science stuff, but we're out of time, so we'll have to adjust for next time.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, and there's nothing saying we can't cover science stuff on it's 1700 summer. We'll get there. But
yeah, we'll see how much time we got.
So I guess we'll go ahead, roll us out now.
All right, guys. It's been fun. We're the Ale Train Fighters. Thanks for hanging out and spending time with us. Please check out WO Entertainment and all of our other shows on this platform. As always, I'm Don.
I'm Athen.
We'll catch you guys next week. Later.